Hello guys, how are you all doing today? I just wanted to give you all a quick update on what's going on with me. I had um, a little emergency last night. For some of you who had an opportunity to watch my video, you know how I was telling you all on my video that I hadn't been feeling well and had shortness of breath and all of that, and just been having these episodes of not being able to breathe. Well, unfortunately, last night I had a really, really bad episode where I was up probably for about maybe 7 hours straight because I couldn't breathe. I literally had to gasp for air just for hours at a time, and my lungs kept filling up with fluid. And so finally, my husband got off from work and was able to take me to the emergency. So this is where I am now in the hospital. And they've already done the EKG and run blood. They ran blood work and all of that. And actually, I do have fluid on my lungs, and they are also checking to make sure that there's no heart damage. So they're going to keep me overnight to get some of the fluid off and just to monitor me and yeah, and just to make sure there's nothing else going on. So, of course, when I come to the hospital, I always tell. I'm sorry, I just got a text message. I always tell people about, not people, but tell the triage nurses about my situation with my pregnancy. And we already know that, we get looked at like we have three eyes when we talk about our unique situation. So I had a conversation with the doctor about the babies and everything, and of course, I asked him if he wanted to see the pictures that I had, and because I'm never going to say that it's something else when I know exactly what it is. I don't care what they say. And it's really interesting how they can look at a whole baby and say it's a liver, it's this is your kidney, this is what did he say, fibroids? And I was like, well, guess what? Fibroids don't move. So that's not what that is. I say this is a whole baby. You can see the baby's eyes, nose, body, and they will say it's everything else but that. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that because I know my truth, and I know what it is. But I always share my story. This is why I'm spreading awareness about cryptic pregnancy, because we're going to go through this as CP moms. We're going to go through being told that our babies are everything else except what they really are. And it is discouraging. It is. But when you know your truth, you live by that. And that's where your peace comes from, knowing what your truth is, no matter what anybody says. And the reason why I brought it up, and I bring it up to doctors, is because when you treat me and give me medicine, you're going to consider hold on, I got a phone call, I'm sorry. You're going to consider my babies, and I'm not going to take any kind of medicine and get x-rays and tests done that could be harmful to my baby. So I have to bring that subject up, whether it's believed or not. So I told you all that as my journey goes on, that I would record things and that I will let you all know what's happening, what's going on with me, whether it's good or bad. And I won't even say bad, but disappointing rather. So I'll be here for observation, and my husband just left because he has to go back to work, and my niece just left. But I just wanted to come on real quick and let you all know what's been going on with me. And I'm going to do another video And I guess when I get up to my room or whatever, I'll do another video. And there'll be. Hi. I'm sorry, I'm doing a video. I apologize. I'm gonna end it. So y'all gotta go because the nurse is here. What are we doing? There, I gotta get more
I have some Lasix for you to help take some of that
fluid
off.
off. Oh,
So it'll make
okay.
it heat.
Okay, y'all. So I gotta go get some fluid taken off, but I'll come back and continue what I was saying. So you should hear from me shortly, and then I will post this video so that you all can see it. Okay? Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, good morning. I just wanted to jump on real quick to give you guys a another another update. So it is close to 6 o'clock in the morning, and please excuse my appearance. I just had to get up and brush my teeth and freshen up and stuff like that because I have to have um what do I have to have? I have to have some other tests ran. So I'll just wash my face and brush my teeth, and the water is really dry, so my skin is a little dry. So I apologize for my appearance. Y'all have to forgive me. So I haven't seen the doctor since I was admitted. Haven't seen the doctor yet. I'm hoping that, well, obviously I'm going to be talking to the doctor today about what's going on, and as to why I have the fluid on my lungs, and is it in relation to, well, I know it's in relation to my heart, but if there's any damage or anything like that. And I'm going to have an interesting story for you guys about when I told the doctors that I was pregnant, and how the doctor in the emergency room showed the doctor the pictures, and he proceeds to say, "Oh, that's not your baby. That's not a baby. That's your liver." I said, "No, that's the baby behind my liver." And the reason why he said that's my liver is because on the image it said, right liver. I guess it gives you the name of where they're taking the picture, and my liver is enlarged because of the baby. So obviously that's why. That's part of the reason why the ultrasound was done, because I have an enlarged liver, but the baby is behind the liver. So, I mean, it is, I'm telling y'all, it is the craziest thing that I have ever experienced in my life. How someone can look at something, or these doctors can look at these images, and they refuse to say that what you have is a baby on your ultrasound. Like, they will say it's a monkey before they say it's a baby. Like, it is the craziest thing ever. And so my husband was sitting there, and my niece was sitting there, and we were going over the images because the doctor looked into my history with my ultrasounds and all of the doctors that I had been to when I had told the triage nurse that I was pregnant. And the reason why I let them know is because I'm not going to take any kind of medication and do things that will harm my baby during this process. So I let them know. I said I have a unique situation. I said I still get my cycle. I have low HCG levels, but I am in fact pregnant, and I'm having multiples now. And she was like, "Oh, really? Wow. How far along are you?" And just asking all these questions. And I said, "My situation is very different. Let me just tell you that." I said, I don't know how far along I am in terms of like weeks or anything like that, because I still have a cycle. So, I don't have a positive test. So I went through that whole thing. Y'all know what we go through when we have to explain our situation. So, she started putting all of the notes in the system and all that stuff. And then when the actual doctor saw me, who was looking at my EKG and explaining to me what was going on, he was like, "Yeah, so I was looking and I noticed that the last time you were seen was in March." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Doctor, so it was this doctor that I saw in March that I had went last March that I had went to." but I didn't like him. I saw him one time. He ordered an ultrasound, but I never went back. And I said, yeah, that was a doctor that I went to back in March, but I hadn't seen him since then. I never went back. I said, I'm seeing another doctor now. I said, so I'm not understanding what's your point, you know? So I guess he was trying to say, I looked at your record and I see that you've been to various doctors and you've had various ultrasounds. I was like, okay. Again, what is it that like, what's your point? So I said, if you want to see pictures of my baby on my sonogram, I have that to show to you. I said, I can show it to you. And so he was like, sure, I'll take a look at it. Hold on, guys. Oh, I thought someone was coming in. And so that's when I began to show him all of the pictures. I said, what's interesting is that no one can, because I showed him this one picture of my baby. You could see the full silhouette of my baby's entire face. And this other picture, you could see the shape of the head. I mean, you could see everything. And so the first picture I showed him, which was my clearest picture, he was like, oh no, that's your liver. I said, no, sir. And my husband was sitting right there, and so was my niece. And I said, no, sir. You can see the eyes, the nose, the ears. You can see the limbs. So, he's examining the picture and looking at it. And I said, well, let me show you another picture, since you seem to be a little confused about that one. Again, this is a picture of one of my bigger babies. And he goes, oh, the black part that you see is a shadow or something he was saying. That was the baby's body. I said, okay, so what about what you see sticking out, which was his arms? You can clearly see the baby's arms. And then he's looking, and he really didn't even give an answer. I said, so let me show, since you're unclear about this photo. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can talk.
Oh, okay.
I just want to change your leads.
Oh, okay.
Make sure they're fine. I just
Oh,
want to check
okay.
it because they're saying you're off. And one of them is off.
Oh.
So let's see. Let me check.
I'm sorry y'all being checked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not on there.
Oh, okay. No, I don't want you to be on there either. Here it goes.
Oh.
Okay. Well, you just need one.
And where does that go?
This is your heart monitor.
Okay.
One of the probes is off, so they can tell that one of them is off. I just need to replace it. That's all.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
When it's off, they'll let us know. They monitor you from another room.
Oh. Wow.
They look at your heart from another room.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Now you're back
I'm
on.
good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
All right.
you.
Let me come out this way.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, so I asked him so I showed him another picture. Then it says, oh, I'm not really sure what that is. So my niece jumps in and says, my aunt is pregnant because I've heard the baby's heartbeat and I felt the baby's move inside of her stomach. Cause my niece is ride or die, so she don't play. So yeah. So that's just kind of a little quick story time as to what happened in the before, while I was being examined before I actually came up to my room. And then I had another situation where I had to be administered blood thinners in my stomach. And I wasn't sure about that because I wanted to make sure that, that wasn't harmful to the baby either. So I looked it up and researched it, and it's good because the babies are protected by the placenta. So I was okay with that, and I don't seem to have had any problems with it since it's been administered. So yeah, so I don't know whether I'm going to be kept another day or what's going to be happening at this point. I haven't seen the doctor yet. We'll see. I mean, I honestly don't feel completely like myself. Like, I could tell that I still have something on my lungs when I actually stand up and move around. It's hard to tell when you're in bed and you're lying down and you aren't, you're not active. But when I stand up and I walk, so yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I have a roommate. Yeah. So um yeah. So I don't know, guys, if like I said, when I stand up, I can feel it. I can tell that my airways are still kind of, clogged up and stuff. But the hard part is at night when it's like bedtime and it's time to go to sleep. I don't like that because it's hard for me to get to sleep. So I need something to help me sleep just to get through the night. So, but I'm gonna get off because I don't want to record someone else's conversation and I don't want to violate their privacy. So I'm gonna go, but I will be back when I get updates from the doctor and when I get discharged. Okay, talk to y'all later. Hey guys, I'm back. I just had to get back in the bed and put this oxygen in just to help me feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm breathing. So I have to have a test done. I guess to I guess it might be like a sleep apnea. I don't know, but the test is to determine whether I stop breathing when I'm sleeping. Because when I was having these episodes of shortness of breath, um, I you know, I couldn't breathe. I just stopped breathing. So um, I don't know what they're gonna do, but she came to measure my neck. I don't know why, but she did. Um, so far, the situation with the pregnancy hasn't been a topic of discussion too much. I'm just making sure that I protect them and that I don't do anything that's going to harm them or whatever like that. I don't care if when I say I'm pregnant they don't believe me or, you know, I get like some kind of side out, look at like I have three eyes or whatever like that. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm just going to make sure that they straight. I don't care if it's another 2 years before they get here. You know, I'm just going to make sure that I advocate for myself and my babies. So this is just, I hope that I can be an encouragement to other CP moms that have other ailments going on outside of their pregnancy and you have to go to the hospital to be treated for something else. You know, I'm never going to hide or not say I'm pregnant, even if they can visually see my bump or not. I'm a big girl, so I'm automatically looked at like I'm just fat anyway. So even if I have a baby bump and it's pronounced, the first thing people are gonna think, oh, she just got a big stomach because she a big girl. They're never gonna equate my baby bump to being pregnant because first off, because of my age, and like I said, because I'm a big girl anyway. So, but even if you're not, and you're petite, and you got a baby bump, and you know, our situations are similar in terms of the negative test and all of that stuff. You know, at some point they're gonna treat us like they normally do. So it's all good. I really don't care. Just like the doctor tried to sit there and tell me that was my liver and this is that, and I just looked at him like, so you mean to tell me this face with these two eyes and nose and a mouth is a liver? That's what you're trying to tell me? And he's like, looks like that. I said, no, what you're looking at is the word liver at the bottom of the screen. I said, that's where my baby is located, behind my liver. So they're ignorant. And I believe that God would give the right people the right eyes to see our babies. Not everybody is supposed to understand and see where they are anyway. It's all in God's, all in God's time. And so I don't even get discouraged about that anymore. I know that when the right person needs to see and identify them, they will. And that's where I'm at with that. So I just wanted to encourage, you all to stay strong and to continue to fight this journey. And it's not easy, because I thought that I was past having my cycle with this pregnancy, because I know in the beginning, I was having my cycle every month like I normally do, and then as time went on, they started to subside a little bit. Like I would go for 4 months, even 5 months without a cycle, and then boom, all of a sudden I would get one. Well, guess what? I got one, and I'm in the hospital with it. So you can imagine them asking me, well, when was the last day of your first day of the, what did they say? The the last day of the first day of your last cycle. I think that's what they asked you. I said, oh, yesterday. And then I proceed to say, oh, and by the way, I'm pregnant. They're like, but you just had your cycle. I know, but my pregnancy is not, it's not a normal pregnancy. I still get my cycle periodically throughout my pregnancy. That's why I don't have a positive test, because my HCG levels are low. And after a while, they start hearing wah 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 wah. But I give them the short version. But I won't say never, because all of my experiences have not been the same, and I don't know what other experience I would run into. But in most cases, when it comes to medicine having to be administered, someone having to look after me, check on me, or whatever, I always let them know that I'm pregnant, because nobody's going to say, oh, she never said she was pregnant. And of course, when you do a pregnancy test, it's not going to show that I am. And even if they did a ultrasound, they're going to say that it's not there, even though it is. So when I do my x-rays, I make sure I sign the consent form that I am pregnant. Any type of test that I have to take, you're going to know. So you're going to treat me just like a regular pregnant mom. And whether you believe it or not, that's not my business. But you're going to follow my wishes as a patient. So I just wanted to encourage you all and tell you to keep your head up. No matter what your situation or circumstances is, God can work a miracle right within your situation, right within your circumstances. God can work a miracle. We can come in here for one thing and leave out being confirmed. You just never know how God works, because I had to tell myself that on the way here. And that's honestly what took me so long to come to the hospital, because I knew I should have been here a long time ago based on how I was feeling. But sometimes going through the riffraff of having to explain your pregnancy, and people looking at your records and seeing that you've been to 3 or 4 different doctors and had sonograms, and all the doctors have said the same thing, but they're going to band together and stick together. And if one doctor is saying one thing, 9 times out of 10, they're going to keep that going. So if one doctor is saying no baby, another doctor said no baby, then they're going to stick together. But guess what? God always has a ram in the bush. Always has a ram in the bush that will trump what anybody says, what any doctor says. And I believe that he has these babies, I'm going to speak for me, has my babies covered and protected for a reason. I honestly and truly believe that, and I had to encourage myself in the Lord, even on my way to the hospital, because I'm like, unfortunately my cycle came at this time, and so I got to go in here first of all and tell them that I am, and then say it while I'm actually having a cycle, which I hadn't had in a while. And but I had to man up, and like, this is my situation. I got to learn how to work within my situation, and be an example for other women. Like, cause I could have. Well, I don't know if I could have, because I was feeling too bad. But if I wasn't feeling as bad as I was, and I didn't feel like I needed medical attention immediately, I know me, I probably would have tried to wait until I finished having my cycle and then come to the hospital. But guess what? It wouldn't have made a bit of difference, because the same response that I got having my cycle, it's the same response I would have got even if I didn't have my cycle. That's not going to matter to them because they're going to believe what they're going to believe anyway. So I'm like, what I'm going to do is just sit here and die because I'm letting the situation, kind of like overtake me. I was like, nah, that's not who I am. So I just had to get myself together because I wasn't feeling good at all. And you don't want to deal with your cycle when you're in the hospital, but that's what the hospital is for. That's what they do. They deal with that kind of stuff every day. So I'm glad that I did make the decision to. Oh, my lips are so chapped, y'all. I'm glad that I did make the decision to have my husband bring me and be seen because it could have been worse. So I'm learning to face my fears, and I'm learning to trust God even when I can't see it, even when I don't understand it, because I'm always praying like, God, please give me wisdom in what to say to these doctors and nurses about my pregnancy. I don't want to divulge too much information. I don't want to not say anything. Like, I just like, give me wisdom on what to do, when to say something. Because I know me, I'm a talker. I'm very transparent. And I'm not ashamed to tell people about my life and about my history. And I'm not ashamed to tell my story. So sometimes I can be a little bit too transparent or transparent at the wrong time. And so that's why I pray for wisdom. I ask God to show me what to say and who to say it to. So, I have other tests that I have to have done. I want to see who I can talk to. Depending on what kind of test it is, like if they do any tests of my abdomen or my stomach or whatever like that, I'm going to ask for copies of medical records for that. Then they did do a chest x-ray because that's the main reason why I'm here. So I don't need any records for that. So I'm good with that. But anything else, if it's pertaining to some type of visualization of my babies, then I'm going to get copies of that. So, yeah. So I just wanted to say, y'all, we have to just brave out those difficult times, because I was like, I already know my baby's not going to be acknowledged. I already know that they're gonna look at me crazy, and God was like, that's not the attitude you're supposed to have. That's not the attitude. You don't know anything. And so I kind of had to, accept that correction from God and remind myself that, God is before me, and He knows everything, and He has a plan for me and for my life and for my baby. So I don't know what's going to take place once I get to the hospital. So I can't predict that. And so you just never know. You never know what your outcome is going to be. God is that wonderful. And even in these times, this is a test of our faith, we may not get any answers. We may walk away with no information or still people doubting us or whatever, but it's okay. I got through a situation and a challenge that I didn't think I could get through. And so that's how I have to look at it, And I don't know. This toothpaste is brutal. I don't know why toothpaste sometimes irritates, like my outside my lip. But yeah. And I know as soon as I go back to sleep or try to sleep, they're gonna take me down for this test. But I wish they hurry up, because you know what? We hungry and we need some food. I got some McDonald's sandwiches in my bag, and I meant to tell the nurse to put it in the refrigerator. I had it before I came here, and I was gonna try to eat. I'm gonna try to eat because I know it's gonna be up here for a while without any food, and these babies gotta eat when they're hungry, so. Or you gonna feel it. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna try to lay down and rest. And I'm gonna come back again after they do this other test and tell y'all what kind of test it is and how things went um, once I come back. All right, see y'all soon. Bye. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well today. It is Thursday morning. I'm still here in the hospital. I just want to do a quick update to let you guys know what has been going on. So right now, I'm still having the fluid drained off of my lungs, and they're giving me medicine in my IV to help drain some of the fluid or whatever. Which I mean, I know it has to be done, but it's such a pain because obviously I have to get up and um, keep going to the bathroom, every so often. And so I am starting to feel a little bit better. I'm not as winded when I walk or stand. I mean, I'm still breathing pretty heavy, and I do feel still out of breath, but not as bad. Like my chest feels like it's cleared up a little bit. Um, uh, when I put this video together and when I get, once I get a little bit more situated, I'll be giving you all more details about my experience and what, I've had to deal with, letting them know about my pregnancy and stuff like that, and how the responses have been to that, and kind of just wanted to talk to you about my experience with having to share about being pregnant and how I had to, no matter what anybody felt or what no one thought or whatever like that, I still had to, uh, you know, let the hospital know, because what's weird is that when I went to get a CAT scan done yesterday, they had this paperwork that you had to fill out because they wanted to do my CT with contrast. And so before they did the CAT scan with the contrast, I asked the lady, I said, well, was the dye being used in the contrast, in the CT scan, will it affect my baby because I'm pregnant? And so, once I said that, it was on. And she was like, well, I have your forms here, and it looks like you've denied pregnancy because, it says it right here on the form, and that you've had a conversation with your doctor. I said, I didn't deny anything, and I never said that I wasn't pregnant. I said that I am pregnant, and I said that when I first came to the hospital, when I was talking to the triage nurse, when I got registered to come here. I said, as a matter of fact, she put all of the details about my pregnancy in the computer. So I'm not sure how, you have that circled that I denied, pregnancy, when I never told anybody that I was not. I told everyone that I was. And she was like, well, I'm not sure, why this is on here, but she was like, let me call the doctor and have a conversation and make sure everything is okay. So she circled it and, put some note on top of it saying that I am saying, in fact, that I was pregnant, and put her initials next to it. So she called the doctor, and, she's like, well, I just talked to the doctor, and the doctor says that everything will be fine, that, it'll be okay. The baby will be okay. Not the baby, but, pregnant women are okay, to have this contrast or whatever like that. She said, I will put the little, thing over you to protect you when you go into the CAT scan. Now, I'm not sure what the conversation was between her and the doctor, but I can only imagine that, this woman is looking at, me like I'm crazy, and I'm sure that I'm speculating that they had a conversation, and they are totally convinced that what I've said to them is the farthest thing from the truth. Because even when I was explaining to the tech that was going to do my CT scan, I mean, she wasn't like rude or anything. She was just like, I've never heard anything like that before. That's very, very new to me. It sounded I know it sounded far fetched, and you could tell that she was very taken back by it. But she was just listening. But that's the reaction I always get. So I wasn't even surprised by that. But I wanted to let them know for the record that I didn't consent or say that I was not pregnant. So I don't know where that came from. And maybe, I am not going to say maybe, every doctor that I did mention it to, which was the ER doctor when I first got to the hospital, he, like I said in the beginning of the video, was trying to tell me that my baby was my liver. And he was just like, oh no, that's not a baby, that's not a baby. And then, like I said, when I pointed out another photo, he couldn't say it wasn't. He was just like, I don't know what that is. And so I'm sure that they all talk. All the information is in the computer. They communicate with each other. They know. Now, it's interesting that this doctor never said anything to me about the possibility of being pregnant, or even if I mentioned it, and she was the main doctor who's actually running all of the tests to try to find out why I'm having the fluid on my lungs to begin with. But she never said one word about, yeah, I understand that you're saying you're pregnant or whatever like that, because they don't care. Because if your blood work does not say that your test is positive, and they don't find any other evidence, and then when they do look in the computer, and all of these doctors are saying the same thing about, yeah, she came to my office on this particular day, there's no baby, this woman is out of her mind. They're very consistent with their documentation regarding my situation. So maybe she didn't even bother to ask because she didn't care. Don't know. But I care, and it's my babies, and I'm going to make sure that they're okay, and that nothing is going on with them that's going to harm them. So I just want to let you all know that I did get the CT scan done, but it was for for my chest, because they were trying to see my lungs and stuff like that. And I did do the contrast. I don't feel like anything is wrong. The babies are fine. They're still moving around. Hold on, guys, because people have been coming in and out of the room all morning. And like I said, I pray and cover my babies. I know God has them. Not really worried about it. As far as something being wrong, you have to make your own decisions and choices when it comes to your pregnancy, and you have to feel like, if you use wisdom, and you do what you feel you need to do for your situation. Everybody's situation is different, so I would never say, well, I won't never say. Let me take that back. I would hope that any pregnant woman, whether you're a CP mom or not, would make the best choices for yourself and for your baby. And sometimes we have to do things for ourselves and trust God for everything else. So yeah, so I'm just giving you all another update real quick. And what's going to happen next is that the doctor's going to come in and talk to me about all of the test results from yesterday, and I'm going to have my questions for her, and we'll see what happens from there. So once I get on my journey home, or when I get home, I'll do another video, and then I'll put together a final video. Y'all please excuse me, I'm so sleepy. I slept good for the first time last night in a long time, because they're always in and out drawing blood and doing this and doing that, and so there's not a lot of quiet time for you to actually rest. And then I have I have a room where it's not a private room. I share with someone else, and so sometimes people have family, or my family may come. It just depends on what's going on, and like I said, we're both being cared for by two different nurses, so her time trying to get her medicine and all of that might be different from mine, and it's just a plethora of things, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm okay. I'm absolutely fine, but I'm just sleepy. And I know I haven't been able to sleep in months, Months I've not been able to rest. Months I've not been able to sleep. So to be able to sleep soundly and not have to worry about not breathing is just a wonderful feeling that I want to take advantage of. So I'm going to get off now, come back. I don't know if I think I gave y'all an update yesterday. I was trying to do an update every day I've been here. So I'm definitely going to do something on my way out when I get discharged, and then a final video when I get home. So continue to be encouraged. Thank you all for your love and support. And to all of my CP moms, stay strong. Keep your head up. I'm going to tell you something about these babies. They are relentless. These babies are relentless. They can go through so much. I'm telling you, God, y'all don't even understand what kind of gift we have, because these babies are relentless. I'm telling you, relentless. And it's interesting, and I think I said this previously, God is not going to allow these babies to be harmed by anybody, and he is going to allow the right set of eyes to see everything that they need to see about these babies. Maybe God is putting blinders on the eyes of the doctors who keep saying that they don't see these babies. They probably, maybe they don't. Maybe God is doing something to distort, either their way of thinking or actually what they're actually seeing, because he knows who needs to take care for these babies. He knows who needs to see them. He knows who needs to say, okay, you know what? I think you might be on to something. But he is the one that's going to provide that ram in the bush. Trust me when I tell you. And that's what I'm coming to, because this experience has been very interesting. And I said to the Lord, I don't know what's going to happen with this experience while I'm here. But all I know is that you want me to trust you through it all. Even if I don't understand it, you want me to trust you through it all. So I don't have, and because I didn't have any expectations when I knew I was coming here. I was like, I already know these doctors are going to say that I'm not pregnant. I know they're going to say there's no baby. I already know they're going to look, think this and do that. So I had already premeditated in my mind how things was going to play out. And God corrected me. He's like, you got to trust me. That's not having faith, coming in, with these premeditated thoughts about what's going to happen. He was like, I'm God. Where's your faith? You don't know what I'm going to do. And so when that happened to me and that came in my heart, I was like, you know what, God, you're right. And I said, I repent and I trust you. And I know that it's all in your hands. Whether I understand it, whether there's something that I don't, even if it's something that I don't see, I know that you're in control. So when I walk out of here, I don't know what's going to be the final result. Even after, I don't know. But all I know is God is with me. He is in control. He knows all about this situation, and He is my source. So I'm not even discouraged. I'm going to always try to protect my babies. I'm not going to deny my pregnancy because someone doesn't believe me or understand it, because they're going to know and they're going to learn that you're going to take full responsibility if, you administer something that you shouldn't, because you don't believe or think that what I'm saying is true. So I let them know from the beginning, listen, this is my situation. What kind of medicine is it? Is it going to affect women who are pregnant? Because if it is, I can't take it. Period. I'm not going to just let them do anything and give me anything because they don't believe me. So what? They're not responsible for my babies. I am. So I want to encourage any cryptic pregnancy, extended gestational abdominal pregnancy, whatever y'all want to call it, babies that's been in our stomach for a long time, unique pregnancy, abdominal pregnancy, whatever you want to call it. Y'all know I made a joke one time, they can call them bubblegum babies. I don't care what they call it. Y'all know the situation. Y'all know we've been pregnant for a long time. So, to those who want to get technical with names and what it's called and all that, listen, let that be your issue. Right now, I'm talking to my CP moms who agree that that's what we have going on. You keep your head up. You stay encouraged. You be blessed. Pray with your babies. Rub your stomach. Read to them. Pray over them. Call on God. Ask God to continue to protect them. Ask God for His grace and mercy. Ask God to cover you. Build your relationship with God. You know, and ask God what He wants you to learn through this journey and through this process. All right, yeah, I'm going to sleep or trying to rest or lay down or something. But I love you all. Continue to be blessed. Stay strong. You're not by yourself. You're not alone. And remember, if no one has told you all that they love you, and if no one else has told you all that they believe you, I believe you. I believe your situation. I know what you're going through. I know what you're experiencing. You're not crazy. You're not delusional. You don't need to be in a psych ward. I know your experiences are true. I know you feel your baby moving. I know your stomach is growing. I know, all of the sickness. And even if you're having a period and you keep getting a cycle, that's part of the process with CP. I came in the hospital bleeding, and I hadn't bled in months. But I'm okay. It's tough. It was hard. And I'm, on blood thinner, and you having your cycle, and they put you on a blood thinner. Y'all already know. But guess what? I got through it, and I'm getting through it, and it's okay. So, I love you guys, and I'll be back. Talk to you soon. Bye.